Equality of the rights, under law, shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex. This is a portion of the Equal Rights Amendment, which was crafted in 1923 by Alice Paul. With this amendment up for ratification, the National Women's Party and the Alice Paul Institute come together to further the legacy of this important amendment. At the beginning of 2021, the National Women's Party selected the Alice Paul Institute to take over its trademark. Due to their shared values and connection to women's rights activist Alice Paul, the organization decided to disseminate and work closely with the Institute.
We both are linked to Alice Paul, right? Alice Paul founded the National Women's Party, and it was her life, the vehicle for which she carried out her life's work, right? And API and the NWP, we do a lot of the same things to keep the story alive, to use it to inspire a new generation of people. We both support the Equal Rights Amendment and women's rights and women's equality overall. And as I said, we had worked cooperatively together over the years. So it just seemed an absolutely natural fit.
We brought 3 members of the former National Women's Party board onto our board. And then we've also created this task force, a series of task forces under the steering committee. So we have a steering committee that's comprised almost entirely of current board members of Alice Paul Institute that are sort of overseeing what do we do about all this. Then we have 2 task forces, one that is just thinking about programs that we could do related to the National Women's Party name and trademark. And the other is how do we want to think long-term about a presence in DC for the Alice Paul Institute?
While there are no concrete plans yet on what will come from this merger, there is hope that this integration will help improve equality, advocacy, and training for anyone who needs it in the community.
The Alice Paul Institute is dedicated to both advocacy training for the participants in its programs, and then to advocating for specific issues around gender equality. One of those is the Equal Rights Amendment, which is certainly very timely. The integration of the NWP into the Institute's work is an additional jolt of enthusiasm to continue that work. We have the inspiration of Alice and all of the other members of the NWP and the work that they did to advocate for equality that we can use as inspiration and as teaching tools for the children and adults who come to us to learn about Alice and her legacy.
Currently, the ERA has its required 38 states in order to become the 28th Amendment to the Constitution, but there is still a lot that has to be done. Alice Paul and the legacy of the ERA continue to live on with the integration of these 2 women's equality organizations. This has been Ariana Cobb reporting for HU News Service.